Who will come up clutch on Friday night? VGK facing elimination at the Fortress. What Golden Knights player needs to step up? We'll start there when we return right here on this edition, the WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cordasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You can find us wherever you get your podcast, of course, and please subscribe to Locked On Golden Knights, our YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by Monopoly Go. Take a look at Monopoly Go. Download it today, Monopoly Go for free, and you can do this at the App Store or on Google Play. So, Chris, I feel Jonathan Marchessault has to be at the center of attention, top of this list for me when you talk about clutch performers from last season's Cup run. 42 goals for Marchessault let me down this season. And I would have said Jack Eichel, but he's too consistent, I think, for someone who needs to step up. He's already there, I think, pretty much. And, of course, he will be someone to watch and highlight in game number 6. But Marchessault, a couple of goals and 2 assists so far in the postseason. He'll need to start his postseason run a little bit sooner than he did a season ago if VGK wants to stay alive in the series. Had 25 points, as we know, in the Stanley Cup run last season.
Yeah, I mean, Marchessault is the heart and soul of the Golden Knights, and he's the one who, I mean, if he can get the first goal tonight, just think about what that would do to T-Mobile Arena, how exciting that would be, how crazy everyone would be. It's exciting. It's here. It's game 6. Hopefully there can be a game 7, but right now the team has to get through game 6 tonight first. Chandler Stevenson, I'll start the bidding there. Chandler Stevenson, 1 assist. Been a ghost this series, hasn't had much going. What are we at right now? A -4. Mark Stone improved to a -3, so you got that going for him. Probably going to have a new line mate. Reading between the lines from what Coach Cassidy had to say, Ivan Barbashev, I think, is going to be going to the second line. Dorofeyev is going to be drawing out of this one. And Keegan Kolesar will be coming back.
And when you talk about Marchessault, back to him, he had that streak of 12 games consecutively with points in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And so they're going to need something out of him. Bruce Cassidy on Thursday proclaiming, I know this team. I know that they will be ready. I know they will play and play well. They know what is at stake. There's so many different narratives here. And the one that we're not buying into is the lack of chemistry with different players on lines. Just, you know what you need to do? Just put the puck on net and put bodies in front of the net. That's it. That's it. Pretty simple, right?
Watching on Thursday night, Mitch Marner, I believe, close game. Toronto Maple Leafs forcing a game 7, so the Golden Knights I can't believe I'm going to say this. Golden Knights taking a page, hopefully going to take a page out of the Maple Leafs book on getting back in a series and clawing their way back into things. But Mitch Marner's first goal of the game comes from maybe, I don't know, a foot or so off of the boards near the top of the right circle. Just threw it on net. Goaltender, I think it was Swayman. Swayman just never saw it. Didn't do anything wrong, but just never saw it. There was a lot of traffic. So this is where Pete DeBoer's old strategy might come into play here. You want to see the spray and pray. You hope there's a little bit of traffic whenever it happens, but especially from what we can say odd or even maybe creative angles are probably a better way to say it, because this is becoming the norm in the NHL. We talked about on yesterday's show and probably the day before on how these strange angle shots, these are things that goalies don't prepare for. They prepare for shots from straight away. They prepare for odd man rushes. They prepare for tip drills on shots coming, from the point where they have a real good peripheral vision. It's strange. Like a goalie doesn't know if they should be coming out and challenging the shot when it's coming from the side, or if they should sit back and wait for a possible deflection or a pass or a redirect. So creative angles is what I'm going to go with, is what the Golden Knights need to utilize to get the puck to the Blue Paints.
As Cassidy calls him, Dorofeyev. He'll be back in the lineup, according to Cassidy. And you were talking about the fact that Dorofeyev did not play a lot of minutes in game number 5. And Cassidy did explain himself because he listens to the podcast or watches it every day, just like our folks do out there. He just explained that due to a lot of penalty minutes and the PK and what have you, and the power play unit, Dorofeyev wasn't actually out there on the ice. So that explains that.
Sure. I mean, there were a lot of penalties, so I'll buy a little bit of that. I don't know if I'm sold based. I don't. Did Cassidy directly say he was coming back in the lineup tonight?
He sort of said. He kind of hinted.
I'm kind of in the middle on that. I read the tea leaves, Tony. The tea leaves, as I read, is Kolasar is going to draw back in Dorofeyev's place. Obviously, a mix and match of the lines, Barbashev being up, but we'll see. I mean, this could also be, considering that there was only the employees of the Golden Knights asking the questions today. One can assume that Cassidy had the script before the questions were coming in.
That was pretty funny. So, now that was was that like an exclusive, like fireside chat with just his buddies there from the front office?
I mean, listen, I get all the media guys. They traveled back this morning. Maybe some of the guys didn't even get back till this afternoon. I certainly get that. So, I mean, this is nothing negative towards local media. So, Sean, if you're watching, that's not what we're saying right now. So relax, buddy.
Okay.
But yeah.
VGK Cassidy also saying that they will pretty much rely and go back to the positives that they have done in this series.
I'm long ago.
I'm just too blunt and honest that I don't. Everyone was saying back in games 3 or game 4, VGK's playing. They played well. They just lost. They were playing. I am not buying into that. I don't think they've played their game. Even when they won those early games, they weren't playing VGK hockey, were they?
No, I mean, so what had me excited about the series after the first 2 games, especially after game 1, is I felt that we got close to peak performance from the Dallas Stars, and we got about a 63, 65%, I won't say effort, that's not the word, but of the Golden Knights ceiling at the time. And for whatever reason, all this chemistry that Coach Cassidy and the radio team and even the TV team now are saying that has been going away, so to speak, or that wasn't there to begin with. Like it's going backwards. It's digressing. It's whatever terminology you want to use. And that's the concern, whether that's coaching, whether that's the players not buying in, whether that's Pete DeBoer, Steve Spott, and Misha Donskov all putting their heads together and cracking the Cassidy code as well. I mean, you got to give credit to the other side. You got to give a lot of credit to the other side. And you also have to, hold Coach Cassidy and his team accountable for what's happening on the Golden Knights side right now. But all of that aside, as crappy as the last 3 games have been, as sad and as upset as everybody is, the Golden Knights are still 1 game away from getting this to a game 7. And they are 1 goal away from being a 3-2 series leader with the game that went to overtime. So the glass is, considering where they're at, when you look at all the high danger chances that the Stars have had and everything, the glass is more than half full on the Golden Knights side. They're lucky to be where they are in the grand scheme of things, but same breath, in the grand scheme of things, they were 1 shot away from being up 3-2. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but the Stanley Cup champs got to find a way to win a game, and the upcoming unrestricted free agent needs to lead the Golden Knights to the promised land.
Okay, VGK has another level. That's something that Cassidy said, and I'm not totally buying into that either, because they played that next level early on when they won the games in this series. And again, the narrative, they've never played together. There's players in and out. And if not, what would they be saying? They would be talking about the injuries. That was the narrative for a while. What is the clubhouse like for VGK? I was thinking about this all day yesterday. Martinez was down on Pietrangelo, and the post-game presser, he stopped short of saying that was a stupid, dumb-ass play.
Martinez kept it down the middle, though, too, to be fair. Let's give both sides. Martinez also slowed down. I think it was a Dallas reporter pretty quick and talked about Petrangelo's leadership and everything too. So it goes both ways. But yes, Martinez didn't mince words.
Right. The makeup of this team could be very fragile. Bills, lettuce, and tomatoes against the world. The BLTs versus the world. Is there some division in the club?
Shut up, Tony. That's like putting ketchup on a hot dog.
The rigged T-shirt does it. Love it.
Shut up, Tony. That's like putting ketchup on a hot dog.
That's Chris Condos, by the way. We reference him a lot. And
thanks, Chris.
He gave me an opening, so I took it. And you saw the shirt, right? You saw the shirt?
It said rigged.
That's in honor of you.
And John Cooper. Is there any division? Is there any division in the clubhouse? This is a team, okay, outside of the chemistry or the lack thereof of this team, there just does not seem to be unity where they're playing for each other. That's the biggest difference here. It's not like the unfamiliarity with the player alongside of you and all of that. At the end of the day,
that's
they're
crap.
just
I'm
not
tired of that narrative. I'm so tired.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Garbage.
But they're not banding together, are they?
So let's go back to Braden McNabb when I asked him about something earlier in the season. Well, we're not going to turn on each other in the locker room. Chill, bro. I never said you were turning on each other. But when Braden McNabb, who is pretty soft-spoken, at least on the media side, I don't know how he is behind closed doors, but on the media side, he's a pretty quiet dude, doesn't give you a lot as far as sound bites go. So when someone like Braden McNabb is saying, we're not going to turn on each other, we're not going to turn on each other, they're turning on each other. So something's happening. Now, I'm not saying they're throwing chairs and all this crazy stuff is happening behind closed doors, but this is where someone like Marchessault or Coach Cassidy or Mark Stone can wear you thin, and you just tell them to piss off at some point. That's human nature, especially when things aren't going well. So if it's happening in a nothing game in late November, mid-December, it's sure as heck happening right now. And I do wonder if after the game, when the emotions are at their most sensitive and rawest of states, you wonder if someone looked at Pietrangelo and said, bro, WTF are you doing? Like, I really wonder if that happened. We really couldn't get much of a read on it due to time constraints, unfortunately.
Oh, good one. I like that.
So,
I also, you know what I also missed at the beginning? The fact that on the slate you put both of our cliches on there.
Let's go.
Do or die and must win. Both of them.
Listen, when a team's back,
are we not allowed to say do or die anymore? Is it too violent?
I don't care.
It's too violent, I think. We could kill people on TV, right? And all those dramas, crime dramas in those series.
Yeah.
But we can't talk about it in sports. No way.
Just apologize. Just do hashtag JK or put a smiley face in there.
Hashtag rigged.
The heck was I gonna
I don't know. Do you want to go? Let's do a break. Let's do a break because we have so many WTFs today. There's too many to count. How confident do you feel? How confident are you that VGK can advance? What is your confidence? Too many words. What about when we discussed it on the napkin? What's your confidence level for VGK? We haven't even talked about goalies yet. Who's in the crease? All that. We'll get to that.
We'll hit it all.
Okay. We'll hit it all after this on Locked On Golden Knights. As you know, we have a very competitive side, both of us, and we are both big fans of Monopoly Go. And I'm sure that you've heard of it. It has been downloaded more than 150 million times. It is a great twist on Monopoly where you play on not just one board, but on hundreds of Monopoly boards in crazy locations, and you build up amazing cities that bring you the big, big money. The best part is messing around with your friends. We've told you about this, where you can charge them on the iconic properties, just like the classic Monopoly. Now you can also rob their vaults. You can rob people's vaults, but you can't say do or die. You can rob their vaults of riches for yourself. And the leaderboards show us the biggest Monopoly tycoon and all of that. But it's really a lot of fun, and we really do enjoy it. And you could team up with your friends and people all around the world. It's so, so cool. They have timed tournaments, and you can earn big rewards. So get into the game and join your friends. Download Monopoly Go right now for free, and you could do it on the App Store or on Google Play. Welcome back on this edition the WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Don't forget, you can find us wherever you get your podcast. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give my confidence level right now in VGK a 6. They've been outclassed so far.
A 6 is good.
And I would be shocked if VGK can just flip the switch, just turn it on. I don't believe in that. I don't believe, not with this team. And again, in all fairness, I had to say this again because last year it was late in the regular season. It was about a month out. And I said to you on the air, I said, Chris, this team I'm starting to think can win it all. The way that they're playing, the way the makeup is, and the way that the chemistry is working and all that, they can win it all. So I'm not just,
the chemistry. But what chemistry? What are you talking about? There's no chemistry.
I'm not playing devil's advocate here. So I'm
Me
just,
or you?
I just don't want to hear about a lack of chemistry. Traffic in front, and then, of course, shots on net. And one thing that really concerns me, again, the predictability of Cassidy's system. He needs to make changes. Even this season, even at times, even post All-Star break, teams were starting to read and react low to high, right there in the crease. Everything that Cassidy does, they were starting to read what he does.
Yeah, no, listen, we talked about this previous episodes. It's a copycat league. There's film, what the Golden Knights did last season. It's hard to replicate. And starting with the playoff run, they mowed down basically everybody that they played in the playoffs. Edmonton, obviously, it was a pretty close series. Dallas, yes, it was 4-2, but it really didn't have that same type of feeling. Obviously, the Stanley Cup Final is what the Stanley Cup Final was. So the film is out, but a lot of the games you're referencing, Tony, are when there were injuries and stuff like that. Injuries and chemistry are two different categories, depending who you talk to, but injuries and chemistry are two separate categories. And for a window when the team was somewhat healthy and when you got Hannafin and Hurdle in the picture down the stretch and things like that, there were some moments where okay, this is definitely not going to be an 8 or a 7 or a wild card or excuse me, a Pacific Division 3 seed. There was a lot of moments where you're watching the Golden Knights and you're like, this is a pretty good team. And like we said in the first segment, games 1 and 2, they were okay. I thought the Stars were not the better of the teams, but we talked about the ceiling being really high of the Golden Knights. Well, in the second song of the set at the U2 show at the Sphere, when the ceiling comes down on you, that's what's happening with the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are not elevating to their potential. There we go. Get some more YouTube.
They're not playing Nashville, bro. This isn't again.
Well, then we'll see if they're not going to play anyone soon. They might be playing Bears Best pretty soon. But listen, as far as that's pretty good, huh? As far as my confidence level, I'll go one step lower than you, which scares me. I'll go a 5. I just looked at the odds. They're plus 380 to advance. Golden Knights are a very slight home dog. I'm curious if the money still continues to come in even, or if there's something with sharp money coming in tomorrow. But I get a feeling the sports books are very happy keeping this line 5 cents either direction, or even a pick 'em maybe as it gets closer, and they're just going to take their vig and call it a winner.
Okay, no confidence in goaltending. I've said this all season long. I said it last season towards the end. Even at the start of last season.
You got to be confident in Logan. What's he done wrong this series?
Is it Logan between the pipes? Because I say they stay with Aiden Hill. I think they're going to stay with Hill.
So a couple things here. I think Coach Cassidy needs to decide what he feels he needs out of a goal.
How come none of the state runs? It's only employees in the room. And how come no one asked Cassidy about the goaltending position?
Because they were all handed a script when they walked in the room.
Was this like the White House? They just pick on, just certain people because they know the question already?
Don't get me started on the White House either. That was a bad day. All right, so going back here about the goaltenders, Coach Cassidy needs to consider what he wants out of his goalie. Aiden Hill gives the team the best chance to win. And what I mean when I say that is, hold on a second, you're looking at the ceiling and the floor. I don't think Aiden Hill is the goalie that's going to go in there and pitch a shutout or give up even 1 or 2 goals. I think the best game you get out of Aiden Hill is 3 good goals scored where maybe he doesn't make that extra save, but he gives the Golden Knights a reasonable chance at victory. Logan Thompson has the higher ceiling of the two goalies. And what I mean when I say that is if the Golden Knights score just one goal tonight, which of the two goalies can pitch a shutout? And it's Logan Thompson.
No, it's Aiden Hill because he's done it before. He did it last season in the playoffs against Dallas twice.
Sure. Last season is a long time ago, and Aiden Hill's played one.
Okay, that's
game.
fair.
And listen, Aiden Hill might have a really nice, the horse reference. We'll talk about that at some point, I'm sure. You needed that start. Maybe game 5 was the start that he needed. But long story longer, Logan Thompson is the better chance to let in a shutout, only allow a shutout, only allow one goal or a shutout. But in the same breath, Logan Thompson, I don't know where his head is at after being scratched in game 5. He might be his own worst enemy going into game 6, trying to do too much. And there could be 2 cookies given up early. So Logan's risky, but Logan is the better shot to pitch a shutouts.
Pete DeBoer
get paid the big bucks for.
Pete DeBoer, putting things in perspective on Thursday, said that there is more heavy lifting to do. And VGK is out hitting themselves. They're out hitting themselves, basically. I mean, I think that they're overly aggressive. And again, Dallas is just sucking them in. They're sucking in the Golden Knights. Absolutely. So if VGK wins game 6, I think they're going to be pooped. I don't think they could win game 7.
Whoever comes out of this series, Colorado is going to be chomping at the bit. Whoever comes out of this series is spotting the Avalanche one game based on fatigue right there. So it's going to be extremely tough.
Stay out of the penalty box once again.
Don't do idiotic plays.
Okay. Dallas is expecting VGK to play its best game. Now, all we hear about, we talk injuries, right? There's only one injury in this series. Wrong. It's not just Nick Hague or Vegas Bjorn even. He's still playing. Who knows?
Everybody's injured. Everybody's injured. It's a playoffs.
But Dallas, I think that one or two or both of these players will return in game number 6. Mason Marchment, and of course you've got Radek Faksa, because they sent down Maverick Bork. They sent him back down to the AHL.
Maverick? Oh, you're talking about the dog.
No, somebody else. We'll talk about that.
Goldie?
There's a doppelganger. And a dog with the same name that was trying to avoid Leah Hextall, but that's supposed to be WTF. So no, but they're going to get some health back here, and 2 key players that could make a difference in game 6 and or game 7. Pretty big news.
It is. I don't know what this matters right now. I mean, it's this game is about the Golden Knights finding their way. It's about getting back to whatever it is that worked. And, watching me and Christopher were watching yesterday, we were watching game 6 of the Leafs and the Bruins, just both teams getting through the neutral zone and getting scoring opportunities with ease. And not that neither team was playing bad defense, but it's just good execution on breakouts, on stretch passes, on chip and chases, whatever it is. It was good and it was crisp. The Golden Knights were nothing. No crispiness. They were not crispy between the blue lines at all. You need to see much better breakouts, mobility, people moving, feet moving before the puck gets to them. I mean, how many times is someone just standing still and the puck just flubs off their stick? Not crapping on Shea Theodore, but like what happened in an empty netter. Stuff like that. It's not just Shea Theodore. That was a bad time for Theodore, but it's not just him. Pietrangelo's having a hard time keeping the puck at the blue line and everything else that's happening. So just you need a Stanley Cup effort. And the problem is it may not be good enough, because if the Golden Knights do run into the hot goalie tomorrow night, they could have the best game of their series. They could drop it 2-1 while they're the team that generates 24 high danger chances. That's the spot that the Golden Knights are in right now.
Okay, and that means not tomorrow night, but Friday night.
Coming up next, so good, Tony. I know
you were doing pretty well. We're recording this on Thursday night, and it'll be out very shortly after we record this. And my Knickerbockers won, so I'm happy. Friday comes your way next?
Did they cover? That's the biggest question we need.
Right here on Locked On Golden Knights. And speaking of covering, let's talk about FanDuel. As it's playoff time in the NBA, the NHL, baseball now in full swing. My Yankees are slumping, and FanDuel is your place to bet on every single game. And right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed, and that's $150 with a win or a loss. You can bet on everything from slap shots to home runs to even slam dunks, all on the app that is safe, it's secure, and it's easy to use. What are you waiting for? Visit fanduel.com/lockedon and make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. We appreciate you tuning in, making us your first listen every day. I came out of a break earlier this week. I said, welcome back on Locked On Golden. You just I rattled the cage there. It is a do or die must win game for VGK coming up on Friday night. So WTF, we've got some good ones from a lot of our listeners and viewers.
Derby. We got the Derby.
Go ahead, do the Derby first.
Yeah, I got Derby
people
picks.
are tuning in.
All right, here we go. We're going to do we're going with a try box, 4 horses, 13, 17, 11, 16. 13 West Saratoga, that's for Tony. It's opening line, it's been bet way down. That's exciting. 17, that's the chalk. We're hoping to beat the chalk, but the chalk gets
Is that Fierceness? The 17?
Fierceness, yep. We have an Invader, Forever Young from Japan. No one's going to know anything about that horse. 10-1 open. Now it's down to 8-1. But the Golick family going with Grand Mo the First. 54-1. Why were you taking that horse? It is a big black horse named Mo. We have a big black cat named Mo in our house. So Golick household, Grand Mo the First, $20 across. Let's go.
Okay, I got Dorak as my long shot. You can tell me what the odds are there. Sierra, whatever, Leone, I don't know.
Sierra chalk, Dorak. You can't take a horse on the pole in the Derby, Tony. That never happens.
That's why the horse is going to win. But I know for WTF, most of you were upset and annoyed that we even hinted at talking about the Kentucky Derby. That's why
WTFU. We're watching. It's our show. We're talking about horse racing.
Can we just talk about? I cannot wait for WTF. Cannot wait for Friday night's fashion show with the Wags and the Wagyu. The Wagyu Nation cannot wait for the wives and girlfriends and everyone together now. Side pieces. WTF.
Pretty good. I'll rattle all mine off, and then we'll stick with submissions. So going back to Thursday's press conference, everyone just reading from the script, the questions and everything. That's just a quick WTF right there. Tony gets a WTF right here. This is my little show notes right here. I got lines and stuff. This box where it says ad reads, it's supposed to say what the ad reads are. Tony forgot to tell me before the show started. So I'm sitting here scrolling up and down, waiting to see what ad read Tony's going to do. And I actually probably did better not knowing what the ad reads were. So WTF, Tony and me, I guess.
You actually got them right for once.
We did. Let's make a deal watching them blink down there. Petrangelo, WTF for obvious reasons. We're going to leave it at that. The narrative about chemistry and all of that, WTF, we hit that already. My WTF for strategy really fast here. It was known that the Dallas Stars were going to be rotating 5 defensemen. It was known. If it wasn't known, it was known after the first game that the Stars were going to be going with the 5 D-man rotation with Nils Lundqvist getting 3, 4, 5 minutes a game. Why are the Golden Knights not committing to a chip and chase and, pardon the brutality here, but pounding the absolute crap out of the Stars defenseman in the corner? This is a spot where the Golden Knights needed to break down the Stars defense, which has been a pretty tough egg to crack, a tough shell to crack, right? So this is where Coach Cassidy, I think, missed an opportunity to set the Golden Knights up for future success later. I'm not saying injuring anyone. That's not at all what we're saying. But the more of a pounding you take in the corner, you think twice before you go in the corner and keep chasing those pucks. So WTF Cassidy and the coaching staff for not better identifying a possible area of opportunity to set the Golden Knights up. God, it sounds so corporate. WTF, whatever. That's it. I'm done.
Okay. One thing that Cassidy did say, I have a WTF here before we jump into everyone else's. He said Dallas is stopping VGK's breakouts by putting someone in the center of the ice, the opposing center there in the neutral zone.
Plays center, and we can't get around that? Who would
Okay.
have thought the center plays center? That's weird.
He says that they lock it down, and that how could Cassidy should be able to counter something like that? WTF? WTF from VGK 817161. I feel like I'm like calling out like bingo numbers. WTF? Don't start Hill in game number 6, please. Dylan Northheim says scratch Petrangelo. WTF? We're with you on that. I'm with you on that.
No, stop
Chuck
it.
Dickerson, 12. Okay, he's got a good point here. Okay, there's definitely something missing this year. We don't get as many shots on goal, fewer breakaways, etc. We don't have prolonged intensity. Is it coaching or the players? WT stinking F.
It's a good
I say
question.
it's a combination of both. I don't think the players are responding to Cassidy right now.
I got a quickie for you really fast from YouTube. F later. I hope I said that right. Stars fan here. I really enjoy your podcast! Exclamation points. You guys seem very down to earth and knowledgeable about not only the VGK but their opponents as well. Keep up the good work, guys. That's important. We do appreciate that. We joke, we're goofy, but I don't think, unless it's the Sabres or the Sharks, I don't think we dump too much on the other teams. So it's nice to see that. And it is nice to have all the interactions. I do enjoy it, even though there's a few fans from other fan bases that like to think I'm this big enemy and just there to pick fights. It's not the case. I think I proved that in my Arizona Coyotes garbage from a couple weeks ago. So it is nice to get that recognition. And I've had nothing but compliments as far as my interactions with the Stars fans. And here's to hopefully a 7-game series.
WTF, James Russell. Why does Tony want to talk about the Kentucky Derby? Stick to the Knights. Thanks. Just finished the episode today on Spotify. I'm on edge for the Knights game. Hashtag WTF.
11, 13, 16, 17 try box.
I'm going to bet, I don't know, a superfecta probably. I might fly to New York just to go to the Port Authority there on 42nd Street and go to OTB.
Nothing
Dude,
better than just a
most amount of derelicts in one area ever.
Way in.
It's the best. Okay,
we
have some more.
At night. God, I love it.
Balmoral. That's some sort of sick, brother. VGK fan in Toronto. WTF. Where has the true VGK fighting spirit gone? All the negativity, and yet we are still alive. Just need to pull up our socks and play hard for 120 minutes, and then we should be able to book Colorado flights. We have not played to our potential. It's a good one. How about this one? This is a good one. WTF, good is a dragon if it can't even breathe fire. Curse of the imaginary dragon. So remember the imagined dragons? Remember the curse of the imagined dragons in the first season or so? And like they still won't have them back at T-Mobile Arena because everyone believes that the imagined dragons jinxed VGK, which is worse than like people saying that I jinxed them.
We have Foghat the Imagined Dragon. My kids are going to get the grand entrance for Foghat. You ready?
The fog is coming. The fog is coming.
Not at night, kids. No, there's no fog at night. What do you think's going on here?
It's the dragon. It's not you, Tony. It's the dragon.
I'm trying to find that stinking Leah Hextall. Okay, so even the cup is annoyed by her. Somebody tweeted out. So Leah Hextall is holding this dog in Winnipeg, and the dog is like moving its head away as she continues to talk, which is funny in and of itself. But as Leah Hextall told us, this dog's name is Maverick also. And so I think the VGK dog, because you've not seen both of them in the same place. I think
he stole the dog?
No, I think the VGK dog is moonlighting and getting in some extra pay there up in Canada because they were off. VGK was off. Okay, all good.
You think Maverick ate Goldie?
When I ask about Goldie in meetings, you should see the look on people's faces. Say, hey, whatever happened to, like, we'll be talking about something business-wise or whatever, and then smart-ass Cardasco goes, hey, whatever happened to the goldfish Goldie? And then people just ignore me, and then I go, no, did anyone hear my question? Yeah, we did. Okay. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much for putting up with us this entire week. Of course, it's been fun with the playoffs and everything else. We hope that VGK can prevail because then we do more shows, of course, that have good content and we don't have to focus on horse racing and the Triple Crown the rest of this month and into June. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Of course, Fridays reserved for WTF. You're all saying WTF is this? What's Dasco talking about? And of course, on Saturdays, you'll get the latest recap from Chris and Chris Jr., and that is the YouTube exclusive. So check that out. And we might come back if VGK loses. What? We're back Saturday maybe or Sunday. We might do a weekend show probably.
I think if they win, I think if there's a game 7, we definitely have a Sunday show. I don't know. Definitely a Sunday show if they win. If they lose, I could care less.
Are we on the air? Is this mic working?
We're on the air.
Okay, we're still on the air. We appreciate you tuning in, especially the everydayers. Take care, everyone. Good luck to VGK. Good luck to the fans. That's who I wanted to wish good luck to. Have fun at the game.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again next time. For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco. So long from Las Vegas on Locked On Golden Knights. Take care.